Hey everyone, let's continue our discussion on vectors. We talked about some position vectors, and we looked at the position of Adam with respect to the origin, and we found that to be 4i plus 3j, and we said that each one of those squares represents a meter. We could look at this position vector here. This might be the position of Brittany with respect to the origin, and Brittany is 1, 2, 3, 4 meters to the left, 1, 2, 2 meters up. Right, so 4 left and 2 up, that's in the second quadrant. You might recall this is the first quadrant, the second quadrant, third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant from trigonometry, you might recall that. Then I've got the position of Shelby, and she is 1, 2, 3, 4 meters to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meters down. Okay, so Brittany was 4 to the left and 2 meters up. So that's 4i. Remember, I is in the x direction. Negative 4 says go to the negative x direction, that's left. 2i, j is in the, or 2j rather, j is in the y direction, so 2 meters up. If we look at Shelby, she's 4 meters to the left, right? So negative 4 in the x direction, the I hat direction. And then 5j, that's the y direction, so negative 5 says go down, not up, go down 5 meters. And then finally, Grayson is 2 meters, right? So 2 meters in the x direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meters down in the y direction. So minus 6 meters in the j direction. So there's my positions in the Cartesian format for each of these 4 students, all of them with respect to the origin. All right, and so I could write these also in polar form. And I think that's worth doing because we'll be talking about these angles in more detail later. We already did Adam, and we said that he was 5 meters with an angle of 36.9 degrees. Right? So this angle in here is 36.9 degrees. That's the angle with respect to the positive x-axis, and it's in the counterclockwise direction, so that's a positive angle. Right? If I look at Brittany at negative 4i plus 2j, if I take 4 squared, that's 16 plus 2 squared. Well, let me step back. Negative 4 squared, but that's positive 16. And then 2 squared is 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. So her distance is going to be the square root of 20 meters. And then the angle would be 2 meters in the I and negative 4 in the j. So I'm really going to be measuring all the way around here. So that should be an obtuse angle, right? That should be an obtuse angle, and that turns out to be 153 degrees. All right, so this is 153 degrees with respect to the positive x-axis. Now with respect to the negative x-axis, it's going to be 180 minus that, so that's going to be, what, 27 degrees. So this angle would be 27. But we're generally measuring with respect to the positive x-axis, right? Okay, well, let's take a look at Shelby. The position of Shelby is negative 4 meters I, negative 5 meters j. So we take negative 4 and we square it, we get positive 16. We take negative 5 and we square it, we get positive 25. 25 plus 16 is 41. So this would be the square root of 41 meters, right? Or if I want to round that off, I might say that's 6.40 meters. But then the angle would be the arctangent of negative 4 over negative 5, right? So negative 4 over negative 5. Now if I go all the way around, I'm going to get some angle. We don't generally do that. Once we've broken the 180 mark, or the pi mark, once we've broken 180 degrees, then we're going to measure in this direction. With respect to the positive x-axis, you don't want to use angles greater than 180 degrees. You can, but you don't need to. So this is going to be a negative value, and it turns out that's going to be negative 129 degrees. All right, so negative 129 degrees. Negative telling me that I'm measuring it clockwise, right? I'm going in the clockwise direction in order to get over here. So negative 129 degrees. Which would be what? So that would be 360 minus 129, which is, say, 360, that's a 230 231 degrees. So if I did go positive, it would be 231 degrees. By convention, we don't do that. If you do that, talk with your instructor. I wouldn't care, but by convention, we go with the negative angle. And then finally, if I do Grayson's position, right, Grayson is down here. This should be an angle less than 90 degrees, right? Should be an angle less than 90 degrees. And the distance will be 2 squared, which is 4, plus negative 6 squared, which is positive 36. 36 plus 4 is 40. So the square root of 40 meters. So pretty much the same as the square root of 49, but if I round it all off, I'm going to get 6.32, if I did all that right. Okay? But the angle is going to be, when I do the arctangent, of negative 6 over positive 2, I'm going to get negative 71.6 degrees. And so there you see all of those positions of each of those people on this grid in both Cartesian form and in polar form. All right? So there's a little introduction to Cartesian and polar format. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Thank you.